Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Brenda Leads podcast. So, in this episode today, the topic is no more pick me girl best friends. Let me just say this before we get into this. The reason why I say no more pick me girl best friends is because I know a lot of you have those types of friends. I have had pick me girl best friends many times. Those are not the best types of friends to have as girls. And I say as girls because sometimes you can have guys that have friends that are girls that are like that. And sometimes you also can have girls that have other friends that are girls that are like that. It's a lot that comes with those types of friends. And we are about to get into that right now. But keep in mind that I said no more getting into friendships with girls like that. And you will understand why throughout this episode. Tune in, listen, sit back, relax. Okay. No more pick me girl best friends situation refers to a friendship dynamic where one person, often a woman, is actively working to be a pick me, which is not a good thing. It never is. Someone who seeks male validation by undermining other women, and the other person wants to shift away from that dynamic. The goal is to foster a friendship based on a genuine connection and mutual respect rather than one where the friend is constantly vying for male attention. It's honestly annoying being in friendships with girls like that. And the reason why I say that is because everything they ever talk about or mention is always has something to do with male or men. And they try to put that in between your friendship with them. And it can kind of get annoying. I remember one time I talked about how my friend that I was really cool with at one point used to always talk about guys all the time. She was very boy crazy, always talking about guys, always mentioning stuff about guys all the time. There was never a time I could really say she talked about anything else other than men. And I'm not saying that wasn't normal or natural for her to do at her age or at the time, because it was, and it still is. It is for most of us. But it was always a time where she was mentioning everything about guys and men 24/7, especially when we were a little bit younger, where we shouldn't have been too focused about guys, if that makes sense. So it got annoying after a while. And after a while, I got tired of her mentioning the same thing all the time. And there were times where I tried to change the subject or bring up other things to try to get her to kind of stop mentioning so many things about men all the time, because it was just starting to get very tiring. And, I just got really bothered by it after a while. It just got annoying because it was a 24/7 thing with her. She was the type that definitely did always want to seek validation from men all the time. And when she didn't, sometimes she would act out or she would throw things out on me and some of the other girls that was in our friend group and that was a part of our friendship. And it was crazy. But one thing I had to keep her in check about is that you're not going to act out on me because you're not getting what you want from a guy. That's what you're not going to do, because at the end of the day, I look at it like I was your friend before you had a boyfriend. I was your friend before you started getting into things with guys or whatever, even though she had a thing for girls too. But, guys was one of the most things that she would always bring up all the time. So, the pick me girl, the term describes a person, typically female, who seeks validation from men, and often so by acting as a not stereotype, denigrating other women to appear more desirable to men. They might adopt traits or interests traditionally associated with men, often to be detriment of their own well-being and genuine interest, which is very true. The no more shift. The phrase no more indicates a desire to move away from the pick-me behavior and establish a friendship built on mutual respect and genuine connection. And that's what it really have to come down to when it comes to you guys making friends and just building connections and friendships with people. Do not be the type to condone and to keep a pattern of being friends with the same type of people, especially the pick me type of girls, because those are the ones that are going to get annoying. And eventually throughout time, you're not going to see any purpose of continuing the friendship with them. Like, there's going to be some reason why you're going to end the friendship. And it typically might just be because they're too much of a pick me and you just find it extremely annoying. And you don't know how else to make the friendship work with them without them being annoying because they're a pick me. So that's why I say that it's best that you don't be friends with those types of girls, because they're too boy crazy. They seek nothing but validation from men all the time. And when they don't get that, sometimes it can be a little bit annoying, and you don't want that to put an effect on you. And if it is, this friend is not for you, and this is not the type of friendship that you should be in. Dealing with a pick me. If you find yourself in a friendship with someone who is exhibiting a pick me behavior, it's important to have open and honest communication. You might discuss how her actions make you feel, encourage her to focus on her own well being and interests, and set boundaries to protect your own emotional and social well being. That's very true. You can always do that as well. You could always pull them to the side, have your own little, one on one conversation with them, express to them how you feel, let them know that how they've been acting and what they've been doing is bothering you. You're not really okay with it. And obviously, you have some feelings towards their behavior and what's been going on. It's nothing wrong with just letting them know how you're feeling, despite of how they may react or what they may say about how you feel. They can't change how you feel and they can't control how you feel, but they can choose to listen and respect how you feel. And all you can do is try to communicate that, and hopefully they come to a level of understanding on that part. And even if they don't, that's not your problem. But it's important that you have this communication with these friends and these friendships. I feel like one of the biggest things that a lot of relationships and friendships lack a lot is communication. Sometimes there's no good communication between the two or within the friendship or the relationship. And that's how a lot of things come to a misunderstanding, where you're not understanding each other because there's no good communication happening. You're not really talking, you're not really expressing your feelings to each other, you're not really hearing each other out. One person is trying to make their feelings be more important than the others. You can't do that. You got to be willing to listen to each other. Sometimes you don't feel as good about yourself as you want to when you keep getting into the same old things. So sometimes it's something that you have to do differently, or start to do differently, or start to change around with like people you choose to be around and all of that, for things to really start feeling brand new. You know that song, Rip Me Out the Plastic, now I'm feeling. So we want to be on that type of timing. We want to feel brand new, look brand new, and have brand new types of friendships, but also healthier ones that can really last and actually get somewhere. And also friendships and just individuals and people around you that can help you to make your life be something even better. People that you can actually build something with, friends you can build something with. Those are the types of friends you want to have. Those pick me girls, we're going to leave them alone. We're done with them. I'm done with them. You guys are done with them. We're not making friends like that no more. Those types of friends are annoying, and they look for too much from men that they should really be doing for themselves. We're leaving them alone. That's it. Bye-bye.